Check 1, check 2. This is a test of the audio. I'm getting a thumbs up from Johnny. First pitch in 8 minutes. And good afternoon and welcome to Sunsplash, Lily Field on the campus of California University of Pennsylvania for today's PSAC Tuesday afternoon doubleheader between the homestanding California Vulcans and the visiting Lakers from Mercyhurst. I'm Gary Smith, joined on game one by Johnny Sakaguchi on our camera, and we're happy to be able to bring you second straight day of Vulcan softball, playing catch-up in this the schedule this week. So without further ado, let's take a look at the starting lineup for the visiting Mercyhurst Lakers. Leading off, Brianna Eggleston. She'll be playing left field. Shortstop, Anna O'Geen. Third baseman, Cheyenne Hinman will bat third. In the cleanup spot, first baseman, Allison Dejas will be, and it's actually Allison DeJesus, because I can't read my handwriting. Then followed by catcher, Natalie Graff. Center fielder Sarah Costco. Designated player Celeste Ponce. Right fielder Josie Moorhead. Second baseman Chloe McQuestion, which undoubtedly is in the top 3 names in the PSAC. And on the mound with a record of 5-4 for the Lakers will be Michaela Shramsky. And the Vulcans will put on the circle today for a game on a familiar face, Ellie Lobdell, who put in a lot of work yesterday. Went to relief, came out, went to relief again. So interested to see how Coach Bertinoli will handle his pitching staff today. He's all 3 pitchers, Lobdell, Leary, and Barron saw action. So we're about ready to start today's activity. And batting first for the Mercyhurst Lakers, left fielder sophomore Brianne Eggleston, and she will stand in. And it's just a beautiful day and for softball. And a little bit of a field note here, the wind is blowing straight out to center field, so would not surprise me if a couple balls get into the jet stream, as my good friend Johnny Sakaguchi likes to say. So we're about set here from Lily Field, ready for the first pitch. Glad everyone could join us today on this afternoon. Special Tuesday softball. First pitch from Liddell is low ball 1. First pitch at 2:29 in the afternoon. Lobdell gets the sign. Wind up pitch. Outside ball 2. On the outside, and that's the first strike of the game. Strike 2, so after falling behind 2-0, Lobdell evens it up to 2-2. So here's the 2-2 pitch. Lobdell fires. Check swing was going to be too high, and the count goes to full. We saw yesterday in the doubleheader against UPJ, California pitching staff had some trouble with some free passes. Didn't really hurt them until late in game 1, but then game 2 hurt them to 6 runs in the first inning. Payoff pitch slapped right in front of the plate. Will be taken by Lobdell. Throw to first, slide, and she is safe. So good hustle by Brianne Eggleston, and that will be the first base runner of the game for the Mercyhurst Lakers. So good attempt by Lobdell and Wilson, the catcher, but just too much speed on the base pass for the Mercyhurst Lakers. So that'll bring up the number 2 batter in the order for Mercyhurst, and that will be shortstop Anna O'Gean, wearing number 14. Mercyhurst in the gray and green and white tops and the pure green pants. First pitch high, ball 1. California clad once again. So the 1-0 pitch now to O'Gean. Looking to bunt, going to be outside, ball 2. So first 2 batters of the game have been treated to balls by Lobdell, and again, something to look at in this doubleheader will be how Coach Bertinoli handles his 3 pitchers. Pitch high and inside, off of the glove, and that's going to be a free base for Mercyhurst. So that'll be a pass ball 3. And that'll put a runner on second. So 3-0 is the count. I'm going to pick up my clipboard. So in the wind there, I was getting my headset, that's a strike, so 3-1 count. Bunt, tapped foul, so it'll be strike 2. Count goes to full. See a good shot of Lobdell there. She's wearing that black face mask. Always seems like she has a little bit of a smirk on her face after a good strike. So here's the full count pitch. Inside, ball 4, so 2 runners on quickly for the visiting Lakers. Now I'll bring up the number 3 hitter for Mercyhurst, and that will be the third baseman, Cheyenne Hindman. So 2 early opportunities for some runs for the Mercyhurst Lakers. First pitch to Hyndman. Swung on. Little check swing, not much a check swing either, so a little excuse me swing, pops foul, and Lobdell was ahead of her first batter, 0-1. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Slapped right through the middle, and that's going to be a base hit. Coming around third, and the runner at third will be held up as a nice strong throw to the plate from Mackenzie Carson, and there is a bases full of Lakers right now, and that'll bring up the cleanup hitter for Mercyhurst, number 7, Allison DeGius, left-hander. Seen a lot of left-handers here for Mercyhurst. Eagleston's a left-handed bat. DeGius is a left-handed bat. And it's listed as either Anna O'Gean or Cheyenne Hyndman is left-handed, but they're both listed as right-handed. I know one of them batted left-handed. So, and in the pen right now for the Vulcans is Caitlin Leary. So, quickly in the pen, will the Vulcans get an arm up in the first pitch to DeGius is low for a ball 1. So, ducks on the pond there for the Lakers, and a chance to do what UPJ did yesterday and put up some runs in the first inning. 1-0 pitch, swung and slapped almost into the Laker bullpen, which would have been one of the great feats of geometry there. There's not a lot of space to get into the Mercyhurst bullpen. So DeGius steps in, counts 1-1. Here's the pitch, swung on, slapped almost to the exact same spot. Be 1-2. So Lobdell now ahead in the count, 1-2 to the cleanup hitter DeGius. There's a pitch outside, throw to third, nothing doing as the runner on third, Brianna Eagleston, gets back with no problem. And again, we like to apologize that the whole field is not represented. There's not enough space in the press box, the brand new press box, to accommodate a camera person. So there's the payoff pitch, and that's a strikeout. So Lobdell gets by the first hurdle to get out of this inning, and that's in the form of the cleanup hitter, and that'll bring up the number 5 hitter for the Lakers, Natalie Graff, the catcher. So 1 away here in the top of the first. There's the pitch, chopped right to the pitcher. Lobdell has a trouble with it, and that's going to bring home a run, as the ball had a little bit of spin on it, and Lobdell was unable to get the throw to the plate, and that'll bring home the first run for the Lakers. And the bases will stay loaded. So a little excuse me check swing for Natalie Graff, and it's a 1-0 lead for the Lakers. So number 6 batter in the order will be Sarah Costco. She is a senior for Mercyhurst, swinging on the first pitch, popped up to first and taken by the first baseman Wilson, and that'll be 2 out. So if California can get out of this inning with only 1 run, I think coach will take that as bases loaded with nobody out is usually a recipe for disaster, but good job of Lobdell to get the first strikeout of the inning. So that'll bring up the designated player, number 60, Celeste Ponce. Here's the first pitch to her. Swung on a slap to second base. Jaquay fields it, knocks it down, and has enough wherewithal to calmly throw it over to first base for the 3rd out. So after an exciting inning where Mercyhurst gets a lot of players on base, California gets out of the inning and will lead 1-0 here in the middle part of the first inning. Now it's going to give us a chance to look at the lineup for Coach Rick Bertinoli's California Vulcans. And if you watched the doubleheader yesterday, this is going to look almost eerily similar, as it is eerily similar, as we see catcher Brooke Wilson leading off, second baseman Shalina Jaquay, first baseman Paige Wilson batting third, right fielder Charity Henderson, and she had a day yesterday, a couple outstanding grabs in right field, and then the tying home run in the bottom of the 6th that in the second game that eventually led California to getting a few more runs and winning 10-8. Then the number 5 spot will be Brittany Wilson, followed by designated player Shayna Posler, left fielder Jordan Pineri, center fielder Mackenzie Carson, shortstop Alexa Pastor, and the pitcher Ellie Lobdell. And on the mound for the Mercyhurst Lakers, as we're going to take a look at her warming up, will be the freshman right-hander Michaela Shramsky. See a good look of Shramsky warming up right there. Just a beautiful afternoon here at Lilly Field, so the fans here enjoying it. A rare Tuesday doubleheader as California's playing a lot of makeup dates here to try and get the regular season finished, as the final day, I believe, to play games in the regular season is Sunday. California has a doubleheader scheduled Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And then I believe the PSAC playoffs will start in the middle of next week. So California trying to maintain a hold on second place or first place if they can get past Seton Hill to have a home playoff game here at Lilly Field. And leading off for the Vulcans will be catcher Brooke Wilson, the senior. She's batting a tick under 300 at 299, has started 20 and has appeared in all 20. She has 1 home run and 10 RBIs for the senior, who has missed some time in the past due to injury, so it's good to see her playing pretty much every day for Coach Bertinoli and the Vulcans. So Shramsky looking in, the right-hander for the Lakers. So gust blows up, first pitch, and that'll hit the batter Wilson. So just like that, California has their first runner on base in the form of a hit by pitch. So that'll bring up the left-handed batting Shalina Jaquay. We saw at the end of that top of the first inning, make a very fine play by just knocking it down and calmly throwing over to first for the final out. So Jaquay waits the first pitch inside for a called strike. Jaquay coming into this game, she has started all 20 games of the season. She's batting 167, but she's very good at moving runners over with that modified slap style that she has. So the 0-1 pitch, little bunt laid down, picked up by the third baseman, throw to first. That'll retire Jaquay, but that will move the runner over to second base. So California gets a runner in scoring position here in the bottom of the first, excuse me.
Next in the box, first baseman, number 29, Paige Wilson.
And that'll bring up Paige Wilson. We'll see a shot of pitcher Shramsky on the mound. So Paige Wilson coming into the game. She is batting an even 400 for the Vulcans. Here's the first pitch. Swing and a miss as Shramsky took a little bit off of that. Wilson, up until yesterday, was leading the team in batting, and she's still hitting 400, which is a tremendous number, but as we'll see on the team leader graphic later, she is second on the team right now. Second pitch inside, but catches the corner for strike 2. Home plate umpire standing about 25 feet in front of me, doing a good job of yelling out the balls and strikes. So we shouldn't have any trouble, at least mentally, keeping up with that. So strike 3, drop, throw to first. Well, that'll be the out, but on the drop ball, Wilson will advance. So put Wilson at third, 2 outs, and that'll bring up the cleanup hitter, Charity Henderson.
With 2 outs, now batting right field, number 37, Charity
As we see a shot of Brooke Wilson at first base. And I tell you what, Charity Henderson yesterday, a little bit of poetry. A 2-run saving catch in the right field to the top of the 6th, and then a first pitch swinging leadoff home run at the bottom. Here's the first pitch swinging. Foul directly back at Johnny and myself, and Johnny, who is a seasoned camera operator, did not flinch at all. So that'll be strike 1. Henderson has started all 20 games she's appeared in, batting .379, 4 home runs, team leading 4 home runs, and has 13 runs batted in. Second pitch is fouled back, almost in the exact same spot. So Shramsky moves ahead, 0-2 to the Vulcan cleanup hitter. Henderson, the freshman, so it's good to know that she's going to be a mainstay in the Vulcan lineup for a few more years. As she has a lot of pop in the bat, she covers a lot of ground in right field. So fine player for Coach Bertinoli. So here's the 0-2 pitch. California looking to even things up here in the bottom of the first. Swing and a miss. That big strikeout by Shramsky, and Mercyhurst avoids giving up the tying run. And after 1 inning, California trails 1-0. And in this inning break, we're going to take a look at one of my cavalcade of graphics, and we're going to look at the tape between Mercyhurst and California. See California trailing a little bit in the average, 308, 317, but both team marks are very, very good. Mercyhurst about 109 more hits than Cal U, but they have also played a few more games due to California basically being off for 2.5 to 3 weeks due to some COVID restrictions and quarantines and things of that nature, as we've all been accustomed to in this weird 2020-2021 era we're living in. Mercyhurst 142 runs, Cal U 125, and then the one that really pops out is Mercyhurst 34 team home runs, California 11, and I would think we're going to see a few today in this doubleheader as the wind is blowing straight out. California has the advantage in pitching categories, almost 3 runs better in the ERA department than Mercyhurst, and then the strikeouts, I think it's 109 as I actually hit the dash button when I was doing the graphics earlier. So one of the drawbacks to be doing 4 games in less than 18 hours is some of the graphics may have some errors on them, and I apologize for that as we strive for excellence here at CUTV. And if it can't be excellence, at least acceptability and being able for the folks at home or wherever you're watching this game, as you can watch it on YouTube or the PSAC network. So we're going to move to the top half of the second. Ellie Lobdell still on the mound for the Vulcans, and she will be greeted but the right fielder 17, Josie Moorhead. She is a junior for the Lakers. She will stand in. Waiting the first pitch from Lobdell. Inside for a strike. So Lobdell really wearing out the inside part of that plate here in the early part of the game. Looks like she's settled down a little bit. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Swung on and slapped out to Jaquay. Jaquay, good job of picking it up, and that'll be the first out. So 2 straight fielding chances for the second baseman for the Vulcans, taking some time to field that spinning hop in a routine out 1. So that'll bring up the second baseman, the number 9, and the number 8 batter for the Lakers, probably the greatest name in the PSAC, Chloe McQuestion. At least one of the greatest last names we've heard this year. So McQuestion, a junior, will take the first pitch outside for a ball. So McQuestion, the number 9 batter for the Lakers. Brianna Eggleston, the leadoff batter, is in the on-deck circle. She has scored the only run in the game. Here's the pitch, low ball 2. So McQuestion up there trying to take some pitches, and pitch count will be an issue as this is the 5th and 6th games the Vulcans have played in 3 days. Here's the pitch, slapped off the fence, foul ball, strike 1. This stretch of catch-up games for the Vulcans started Sunday at Mercyhurst. California losing game 1 at Mercyhurst, and then in game 2, a great pitching performance by Kelsey Barron. California won 1-0. There's the pitch, slapped back to Jaquay. 3 straight plays for Jaquay, knocks it down and gets the out. So Selena Jaquay is holding it down at second base for the Vulcans, taking 3 straight fielding chances and successful on all 3, and that'll be the second out of the inning, and that'll bring up the top of the order Brianna Eggleston. Eggleston reaching in the first inning by way of a walk, and eventually came around to score the game's only run. So let's see if Selena Jaquay can take her 4th straight chance at second base. Lobdell's first pitch, swung on and slapped to the third baseman, fielded cleanly, throw to first, and that's the inning. So a very clean inning for the Vulcan defense as 1-2-3 go the Lakers. So after 1.5, the score remains 1-0. So in the inning break, we're going to take a look at what happened in the last games, the last meetings between the two. As I alluded to, California Mercyhurst played on Sunday, April 25th at the lakefront. California lost to Mercyhurst in game 1, 6-4 in an offensive explosion. Both teams going back and forth, and in the second game on Sunday, Kelsey Barron threw a sterling 1-0 masterpiece win. Talked to Coach Bertinoli yesterday before the games against GPJ, and he said there was probably no team in the country that was going to beat Cal U that day with while Kelsey Barron was dealing. And then yesterday in the catch-up department, California beat UPJ here at Lilly Field in game 1, 5-1, and then a wild second game. UPJ got out to 6 runs in the top of the first. California chipped away, eventually tied it up and went ahead in the bottom of the 6th, and then held on for a 10-8 win. And after today, California has a day off tomorrow on Wednesday, the 28th, and then they play at home on Thursday versus, I believe, Edinburgh, and then Friday and Saturday, the regularly scheduled doubleheader with Seton Hill, which could determine first and second in the PSAC-West. So a lot to take note of here in the last week of the regular season. And as we move into the bottom of the third, that'll bring up Brittany Wilson. And you know, we're getting deep into the season where I can pick out the batters for the Vulcans by their walk-up stongs. And Wilson, who made a very fine defensive play to end the top half of the second, will step in. And it's amazing how many times you see that in baseball and softball. Whoever makes a sterling play in the field will lead off in the next half inning. So Shramsky, the pitcher for Mercyhurst, looks in, rise ball, misses high, ball one. Umpire kind of stood up a little bit, thought he might have called that as I was rising up, but a no call. 1-0 is the count. Shramsky's second pitch, slapped foul out of play to the right, as it will get into the Vulcan bullpen. So bonus points for that, hitting about a 5-foot opening to the right of myself and Johnny. Runs the count 2-1-1. Wilson looking back in, batting .333 on the season, takes a pitch outside, ball 2. Said Wilson batting .333. She has played in 18 games, started 12, has 2 home runs and 14 runs batted in. So we'll see if she can get on base and get the offensive motor starting for the Vulcans. 2-1, slapped high, foul ball, and everyone's looking at me and Johnny, and it goes above our heads. So if you listened to the game yesterday, you know that our camera operator Peyton Trollinger got hit by a 1 in a million shot where it went straight up and over the backstop and hit him in the hip. Unbelievable, as that is. If you've ever seen the backstop here, it has to get high. So there's the pitch, slap foul out of play. And if I get Johnny to zoom out and show how high this backstop is behind where we are sitting, and for it to get over that and come straight down and get Peyton in the hip is about a 1 in a million shot. So thank you, Johnny, for that. As he can get back into the game, here's a 2-pitch pitch, slap, and over the head of the third baseman, and that is going to be a leadoff single for Brittany Wilson, and there's some speed out there for the California Vulcans. And that'll bring up the next batter for the Vulcans, Shayna Postler. Shayna Postler is now leading after a fine Monday afternoon. She's now leading the team in average, .439, 17 games played, 14 games started. She has 1 home run, 13 RBIs, and some speed on the base pass. We'll see if she's asked to bunt here. First pitch, healthy hack, rise ball, caught nothing but air, so strike 1. So we've seen Michaela Shramsky not be afraid to work up and down to these Vulcan hitters, which is very daring as the wind is blowing straight out. Anything that goes up might go out. Here's a bunt attempt, popped up in the air, taken by the third baseman, and a great play there by number 21 for the Lakers. Hindman coming in, the junior. Almost had a play at first, but Wilson got back. So first out of the inning for the Vulcans. That'll bring up left-handed batter Jordan Pineri. Shramsky looks in. Wind up, throws outside and low. Oh no, it is going to be a strike. Thought it might have missed outside a little low, but just caught the corner. So Shramsky moves ahead 0-1. Again, on that side of the play, I'm kind of blocked out by the umpire and the catcher, so apologies for that. Second pitch, bunt attempt over the catcher's left shoulder, glove side, and that'll be 0-2 now. Good athletic effort that time by Natalie Graff to try and glove that high side, but gets by her, nothing but a loud strike 2. So 0-2 the count to Pineri. Canary waits the pitch. Rise ball, check swing, and that's going to be enough for strike 3. So Jordan Canary goes down, and that'll be the second out of the inning for the Vulcans, and that'll bring up the next batter for the Vulcans. That'll be the center fielder, Mackenzie Carson.
With 2 outs now batting, number 3, Mackenzie Carson.
Mackenzie Carson, another left-handed batter in this game. Wide stance, as we noted yesterday. Very quick down that first baseline, getting out of the batter's box. Swung on and fouled to the left off the screen, and that'll be strike 1. So Carson in the season is batting .417. She's appeared in 11 games and has 4 starts. So if she had the minimum number of at-bats, she would be leading the team in battings. Pitch high and away, ball 1. But I don't care what level of baseball or softball but you play, and if you're over that 400 mark, you are getting things done. She's sitting at a .417 clip as the wind starts to pick up here in media row as we're trying to hold things down here. So pitch, slapped and foul, out of play. Strike 2. And that's going to be back into the woods. We were here a few years ago, obviously a few years ago, since this is the first time in a while Caillou's played home games here at Lily Field this season, but a few years ago foul ball was hit on the road. So 1-2 pitch. Right on the outside corner. Nice pitch by Shramsky. Freezes Mackenzie Carson, and 1, 2, 2, and 3 go the Vulcans as the first batter reached. So after 2 innings, the Vulcans trail 1-0, and we're going to take a chance to look for a second at the team leaders for the Mercyhurst Lakers coming down from the lakefront. Because I accidentally hid my graphics layer there. So now we're going to take a chance to look at the Caillou, or the Mercyhurst team leaders. We see Fry leads with a .430 batting average. She is not in the starting lineup today, at least in game 1, so we'll see if she comes out in game 2. She also leads in hits with 46. Home runs, Koshko has 8, and she also leads the Lakers in RBIs at 21 on the mound. Hilty leads the team in ERA. She might see her in game 2. And then wins Shramsky, strikeouts Shramsky, and then he pits Hilty with 65.2. So as we move into the top of the 3rd, leading off for the Mercyhurst Lakers will be number 14, the shortstop, Anna O'Gean.
Top of the 3rd for the Lakers, leading off first.
And O'Gean is listed in on the roster sheet for Mercyhurst as a right-handed batter, but obviously she is batting left-handed, or maybe she's playing a practical joke on all of us. First pitch, slapped down the left field line and foul, so a strike. And you can see how those left-handed batters that have a little bit of an open stance, when they make contact, they're about 10 feet down the first base line, so it's very hard to get an out. It almost has to be hit directly at a fielder for that play to be made at first base. So Lobdell going to see if she can work the strikeout. Ahead 0-1. Here's the pitch. Outside, and a good pitch by Lobdell. Catches the outside corner. I tell you what, that outside corner has been there for both pitchers. And that's a good pitch against somebody that has a little bit wider of a stance. Outfield shading her a little bit to the left. 0-2 pitch. Outside, ball 1. Back up in the Vulcan bullpen are a few players. Can't tell who it is. The numbers are facing away from me. 1-2 pitch here. Lobdell deals. Swung on a tap foul. So it looked like Lobdell is trying to entice OG to take something on the outside part of the plate and do something with it. As you can see on the side of your screen, third baseman Brittany Wilson kind of coming in and then backing off. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swung on, check swing, and she's out. Nice strikeout there by Ellie Lobdell, and that's the first out here in the top half of the 3rd inning. So Lobdell gets another strikeout. So that'll bring up Cheyenne Heidman, the junior, for the Lakers. First pitch to her. Slapped into right center field, and that gets down for a base hit just over the outstretched glove of Shalina Jaquay. So Ball just kind of carried there in to right field, and another runner is on base. So Mercyhurst has had a runner at least on first base here in the first 3 innings. So they'll bring up the first baseman, Allison DeGius. Short taken, and it eats her up. Goes into left center field. No advances. A good job by Mackenzie Carson to back up the play. But we saw that yesterday in the UPJ game. The UPJ shortstop Porter had some trouble, had I believe 4 errors over at shortstop, and right there, see Alexa Pastor for the Vulcans having trouble, so that will be an error charged to Pastor, and now you have runners on first and second here, and 1 out here in the bottom, or excuse me, the top of the 3rd. Number 9 hitter, catcher Natalie Graff. So here's the first pitch to her, inside, too far inside for a ball. So Mercier scoring 1 in the top of the 1st, and then both teams playing good defense for 3 innings. So here's the 1-0 pitch, swung on and fouled high and down the right field line. Evens the count at 1. So Graff steps back in, counts 1-1. Here's the pitch. Low and inside, ball 2. So Liddell trying to work the bottom half of the zone. Definitely doesn't want to get anything up in the jet stream, as it is blowing dead center field here at Lily Field. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Swung on, a little check swing to the pitcher. Fielded, throw it over to first. And she is safe. Good hustle down the line by Graff, and now the bases are loaded for the 2nd time in the game for the Mercyhurst Lakers. You see Graff standing on first base, and I tell you what, that was a good play by Liddell as she got to the ball. Wasn't hitting very hard, as now there's going to be a meeting on the mound to discuss strategy, and that'll bring up number 20, number 6 hitter for the Lakers, Sarah Costco. She's a senior. Now the umpire is going to saunter out and break up the congregation of Vulcans. I have to look up and see what the plural of, if there's anything other than, I guess plural Vulcans is Vulcans, so never mind. So pardon me. I just noticed, looks like catcher Brooke Wilson may be wearing some new headgear. Is mainly red with black. I don't believe I've noticed that before, so see if I can find that out between games. So bases loaded here. First pitch on the outside corner for a strike. Nice first pitch to get ahead for Ellie Liddell. We saw in the first inning Mercyhurst loaded the bases up. Cal gave up 1 run, but with bases loaded, and I believe there was no outs at the time, that was a good deal of pitching. Slap foul out of play. So 0-2 as I see the mayor to my right getting some camera gear. Follow him at Mayor Productions. He's doing some fine work. And also, if you're looking for a video production specialist in sports production, he's graduating in a few weeks, so give the mayor a little look-see. Very talented young man. The 0-2 pitch was fouled out of play. And he didn't even have to bring me a Coca-Cola to say that. That's true, as he is very talented. He came into my office showing me one of the videos he did this spring. And he said, how does it look? And I was like, that looks amazing. I have no idea how you did it, so you are ready to go out into the real world. So seeing his new camera rig he has to take some video and audio. We did a video for the baseball team early in the season as the pitch was out, and throws third will be late, so it'll be a ball. And I was working on something similar for the softball team. Again, that's Mayor Productions on Instagram. Not sure what it is on Twitter. He gave me a no for Twitter as the ball was slapped foul. So as I plug him, we're missing a very good battle at the plate with Costco, as she's fouled off a few pitches from Liddell, trying to stay alive. Anything into the outfield will probably score 2 runs unless it's hit directly at a fielder. So 1-2 is the count. Lobbed and retrieving it off of our screen. And again, as I've said a few times, we've had issues this season with that. We're not being able to have, due to space restrictions in the new press box, not enough space in there to have a manned camera. So we have a stationary camera in the press box and a manned camera down here to try and get the shot. So we trying to do our best to describe when it goes off the screen. 1-2 pitch now to Costco. Swing and a miss. Strikeout. That's a big pitch for Ellie Lobdell, and that'll be the second out of the inning for the Vulcans. And just like in inning 1, Lobdell gets a key strikeout. And that'll bring up Celeste Ponce with bases loaded, 2 outs, so it's going to take more than likely a base hit to get any runs home for the Lakers. So first pitch swinging, or not swinging, but first pitch taking outside, ball 1. Ponce wearing number 60, the designated player. Deep crouch at the bat for Ponce. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Lobdell inside, swung on and fouled off the screen for strike 1. So even though it's only the top of the third, this is a key stretch of the ball game because Mercyhurst is a team that is in playoff contention here. So there's a pitch swung on, grounded to third. Great play, picked and thrown over, and put a star next to that one. Great play over there by Brittany Wilson to end the inning. So California gives up bases loaded, and Mercyhurst does not score. So as I'm going to bring up the PSAC-West standings, I'm going to write that down for the highlights you will see later. Just see on your screen, Seton Hill and Cal U both have 5 losses. I believe Seton Hill is listed at first with percentage points. I'm not sure how that works, but this is exactly how it's printed up on the PSAC website this morning. So see Seton Hill, Cal U, Gannon. Gannon looks like they're 3 games behind or some combination. Then IUP. Then you see Edinburgh and Mercyhurst fighting with IUP for that last spot. I believe it's 4 teams that make it. It might be 6. I know it's 6 for basketball, and honestly, we haven't had to deal with playoff standings since March of 2020 with the men's and women's basketball team, since there was no sports in the spring last year or the fall or the winter. So for a complete playoff picture, go to the PSAC website at psacsports.org or go to calvulcans.com. Matt Keifer and his crew will have any information in their game wrap-ups. But as you see, it's great to see that we are talking about playoffs after last year's cancellation of the season due to the COVID pandemic. And there have been some blips in the road for multiple teams in the conference and for Cal U and specifically, but it's nice that it looks like we're going to get this season in and hopefully a postseason run for both the Vulcan baseball team and the softball team. And leading off the bottom of the third will be Alexa Pastor, the shortstop, batting .306. She started all 20 games of the season. 36 at-bats coming into this game. No home runs and 10 RBIs. So we'll see if Pastor can feed off of the fine defense in the top of the third and lead the offense here. California trailing 1-0. Has been held to 1 hit so far in the game. Here's the first pitch. Just a bit high. Ball 1. Just a beautiful afternoon for softball here. You see a pretty good shot of what the pitcher and the batter are seeing right there. Check swing will be held up as there's an appeal down to the first base umpire, and that will be upheld, so ball 2. So we'll see if Pastor can get on base and flip the lineup card for Coach Bertinoli's Vulcans and see if the top half of the order can push some runs across here in the bottom of the third. 2-0 count. Shramsky, third pitch, low and inside. Ball 3. I think it had the plate, as that has been a call that the umpire has been making all game, but I think it was just too low. And now 3-0 count, so we'll see if Pastor has the green light or if she's taking. Ball 4. So just like that, Alexa Pastor will get on base, and California has a base runner. Trailing by 1 here, and that brings the top of the order and the wind blowing out, so probably as strong as it has been all game. That'll bring up Brooke Wilson. She's gone yard 1 time this season, 10 RBIs. See Wilson right there. First pitch. Inside, ball 1. So right now Shramsky having some control problems here in the bottom of the third. Said Shramsky, a freshman, coming into this game, leading the Lakers in wins with 5. As now there's going to be timeout as her battery mate, Natalie Graff, goes out to calm her pitcher down. You see behind our camera shot, a really good shot of people on the hill in center field. Saw a big crowd yesterday, and then a pretty good crowd today for a rare Tuesday doubleheader for softball. Again, glad everyone that is watching at home is watching at home or wherever you're watching at. The beauty of YouTube and the PSAC network, you can watch it on your phone or tablet, wherever you want. So the 1-0 pitch now to Wilson is bunted and popped up and off the fence. And Graff calmly grabs it, but that'll be a strike. So looks like California going to play a little bit of small ball, or attempt to play some small ball with Wilson at the dish. She's going to go over to talk to Coach Bertinoli. Bertinoli's going to call his assistant coach and the runner on first Pastor over to get everybody on the same play. We've seen this a lot throughout the years that Coach Bertinoli has coached the Vulcans. So everyone's on the same page, and a foot race back to first base between the assistant coach and Pastor. So counts even at 1. Third baseman playing way in. See if she'll charge. First baseman comes in too. So here's the 1-1 pitch. Healthy cut, throw back to first. Not in time, but it'll be strike 2. Time is grand. I tell you what, Graff, the catcher, has a very quick release. That was almost the perfect pickoff type pitch, as it was high and outside. So Graff took it, and her body was already moving to first. So 1-2 count now to Wilson. Umpire settles in. There's the pitch, high and outside, ball 2. Waste pitch there for Shramsky. We see a good shot of the catcher, Graff. So like I said, she was up and ready to throw there. So we'll see if that California tests her later in the game with any type of running. 2-2 count now. Shramsky deals. Popped up, and that's going to be down the left field line. Left fielder is going to go back. Makes a catch at the wall, and that's going to be a nice quick throw back in. So Pastor unable to advance. Left fielder Eggleston was right at the foul pole, reaches up and robs California of extra bases, and that'll be the first out here in the bottom of third. And that'll bring in second baseman Shalina Jaquay, the second baseman for the Vulcans. So fine play. Put a star next to that for Eggleston. It was off our screen, but trust me, that was a fine play in this win. First pitch to Jaquay will be low, ball 1. So Shramsky doing a good job of limiting base runners for the Vulcans. Vulcans only have 1 hit. They have a couple walks in this game, but not a lot of action on the pass for the Vulcans. Second pitch, swinging, strike 1. Jaquay almost trying a old-fashioned slap hit. That was a rise ball that just kept telling there's no way Jaquay could get at that ball. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Shramsky, another rise ball off the netting behind the catcher Graff. Count goes to 1-2. So Jaquay now behind in the count. So her average is 167 coming into the game, but she does a good job of at least making contact. Here's the 1-2 pitch, outside, ball 2. So 2-2, 1 out, runner at first. California trailing 1-0 here. Beautiful afternoon. Wind has calmed down a little bit, but is still blowing to left center field. Shramsky's 2-2 offering. Swung on and missed, and Shramsky sits down Shalina Jaquay for the second out of the inning, and that'll bring up Paige Wilson, who will probably need a base hit to get the run in.
With 2 outs, now batting first baseman Paige Wilson.
So we saw Wilson early in the game have the only base hit, I believe. I believe she's the only player to have a base hit for the Vulcans. There's a ball, throw down to first, and Pastor gets back. So Graff is very good at getting that snap throw out. 0-1 pitch now for Shramsky. There's a pitch, low inside, ball. Evens the count at 1 apiece. Actually, that was a strike, because I have 4 people telling me it was, but I'm nearsighted, and I have 2 headphones on, but the umpire did call a strike. That inside pitch has been there the entire time, so the 0-2 pitch swung on and tapped right back at us. Count remains 0-2, so Wilson, as we said, coming into this game, batting an even .400, 2 home runs, 21 RBIs, leads the team in the runs batted in category. So here's the 0-2 pitch, swung on and miss, and just like that, Shramsky retires aside. So after 3-4, we're going to take a commercial break here. You're watching Vulcan's softball on the PSAC Network and CTV Sports 1.
The Vulcans are back in action, and CUTV has you covered. Baseball versus Wheeling. Baseball versus Walsh. Baseball doubleheader versus Slippery Rock. Baseball doubleheader versus Mercyhurst. Baseball doubleheader versus Clarion. Baseball doubleheader versus Seton Hill. Vulcan softball doubleheader versus Gannon. Softball doubleheader versus IUP. Softball doubleheader versus Slippery Rock. Softball doubleheader versus UPJ. Softball doubleheader versus Seton Hill. Vulcan swimming dual meet versus St. Francis. Vulcan tennis match against Edinburgh. Follow all the action live on CUTV Sports 1. And for more information, check out calvulcans.com.
And welcome back to Lilly Field on the campus of California University of Pennsylvania for the top of the 4th inning here at Lilly Field. A very windy, blustery day here. That'll bring up the number 8 batter, Josie Moorhead, the right fielder. Lobdell on the mound has gone the whole way for the Vulcans. First pitch swinging into the gap, and that'll get down. We'll see if Moorhead tries to leg it out into a double. She will, and that'll be a leadoff double for the right fielder. So once again, the Lakers have the lead runner on to start the inning. So first pitch swinging was Moorhead, and that'll bring up Chloe McQuestion, the junior, with a chance to maybe bring in an insurance run as we move here to the latter stages of the game here. So remember, play 7 innings in Division II softball doubleheader. So the 4th inning is basically like the 7th or 8th inning of a 9-inning game. So here's the first pitch to McQuestion, attempting the bunt. It'll be low and outside for ball 1. So you see the infield playing in for the Vulcans. See Wilson pretty much in front of shortstop. Now she moves back. Here's the 1-0 pitch, swung on and down the right field line, and that'll just miss, as it almost took off the shoulder of the first base coach for the Lakers. Everybody's going to regroup, and it's 1-1. So we've seen Lobdell be able to work out of jams here in the 1st and the 3rd inning, so no reason to panic just yet. So the 10th time under is slowly starting to rock. So McQuestion steps back in, the second baseman for the Lakers, awaits the 1-1 pitch. Here it is. Bunt on the ground right in front of the plate. Pounced on, throw to first, and that's an out, but that's a successful sacrifice, as that will move Moorhead over to 3rd. And in fact, it was a foul ball. As I tell you what, the catcher for the Vulcans, Brooke Wilson, did a good job of getting out there. Would have been an out, but is a strike, so we'll see if that has any repercussions later in the inning. So 1-2, nobody out. McQuestion steps back in. We'll see with 2 strikes if the bunt is still on. She gets the swing away sign. Here's the pitch, high. Good job of Wilson to snag that. Evens the count at 2-2. As had she not snagged it, that would have been an easy advance for Moorhead at second base. 2-2 count. Nobody out here. Top of the 4th inning. California trailing 1-0. Lobdell's pitch, high, and just too high, so that runs the count to full. So McQuestion doing a good job of working the count here. And Lobdell has seen her pitch count rise here. She's thrown a lot of pitches, and once again, looks like it's Leary in the bullpen warming up for the Vulcans. So playoff pitch here, outside, ball 4. So runners on first and second now for the Lakers, and that'll bring the top of the order up. So dangerous scenario here for the Vulcans, as that's going to bring up Brianna Eggleston, the lone run scorer of the afternoon. She's the left fielder that made a very clutch catch in front of the left field foul pole, saved extra bases in the bottom of the third. So the left-hand batter steps in. Lobdell's pitch, outside corner, strike 1. And this has been kind of the recipe today for the Vulcans, get into trouble and get out of it. So see if Lobdell can have the same script, maybe get a strikeout and some defense behind her. Now bunt attempt taken outside, too far outside for a ball, even the count at 1. And Wilson, the third baseman, charging hard. We saw a situation yesterday against UPJ where California had a sacrifice play. The third baseman charge made the play, but no one covered third for the Mountain Cats, and California ended up scoring a run off of it. Pitch outside, right on the corner, strike 2. And Lobdell has been painting that corner the entire afternoon for the Vulcans. So big pitch here, 1-2, 2-1. Nobody out here, top of the 4th. Pitch high, ball 2. Trying to tempt Eggleston, but she was not biting on that. So 2-2 pitch now. Lobdell fires, outside, full count, so second straight batter goes to full. Last batter that went to full was McQuestion. She's on, not in time, and that'll be a 2-run double for Mercyhurst, as Brianna Eggleston clears the bases with a 2 RBI double, and Mercyhurst will take a 3-0 lead here in the top of the 4th inning. It looks like Coach Bertinelli is going to come out, possibly make a change. We've seen Leary warming up, and in fact, she is getting set to enter the game. So we saw this yesterday, and we felt going into this game we'd see a lot of pitchers, as California's 3 pitchers on the staff that get a brunt of the work, and we saw all of them yesterday in a variety of situations, and Caitlin Leary will now come in to replace Ellie Lobdell. So Lobdell goes 3+ here in game 1. She is responsible for the runner on second base. And Leary, we saw her yesterday. She's a freshman right-handed pitcher. She's basically the jack of all trades for the Vulcans. We've seen her start a few games, but the games we've been up here, she's been a relief specialist. And again, you have to figure you're going to see all 3 pitchers for the Vulcans, Lobdell, Leary, and Barron, in this doubleheader, as we're at the end of a 6-game, 3-day stretch for the Vulcans. In fact, Leary was kind of warming up in the first, so no doubt that she was going to come in at some point in this game. She's going to come back out. She gets a high five from her pitching friend Ellie Lobdell. The Lobdell will go back into the dugout now, but undoubtedly we will see her some more in this game, or doubleheader, not game. So up to bat will be the left-handed batting Anna Ogeen. She's the sophomore, and she will have a runner in scoring position, nobody out. She was the first batter to greet Caitlin Leary. So here's Leary's first pitch of the afternoon. Bunt attempt on the outside corner, called strike 1. Good job of Leary to avoid contact on there, as they're trying to get the runner over to third. Here's the 0-1 pitch now. Leary, rise ball, slapped off the fence, foul. So Leary coming out of the pen, throwing strikes for the Vulcans, and that's what you need if you're Coach Bertinelli and staff. We saw yesterday a 6-run lead was no problem for the Vulcan bats. They ended up winning game 2 against the Mountain Cats 10-8. Here's the 0-2 pitch, outside, ball 1. So a little bit of a waste pitch. So here's the pitch. Swung on, tap to the second baseman, throw to first in time, and that will be the second out of the inning. So good job by, or the first out of the inning, so good job of Selena Jaquay to fill her position, but that works as a sacrifice in essence, and that'll move. And that will move Eagleston over to third with one out. So a couple different ways of scoring. Now Coach Bertinoli is going to come over and talk to the umpires right in front of us. Not sure what the discussion is about. Does it look like it was a cookie cutter play? So that'll bring up the number 3 hitter in the order, Shine Hindman. Runner on third. No out, so Hyman just looking to put the ball in play and maybe bring home a run for the Lakers. First pitch outside, ball 1. So I'm going to try and readjust my graphics here. There's a foul ball. Almost into the Vulcan bullpen, and that'll be the first strike to Hyman. Evens the count at 1-1. So Leary's 1-1 pitch. High, ball 2. And the Mercyhurst dugout is boisterous, to say the least, over to our left as they are trying to will this 4th run of the game home for the Lakers. Here's the 2-1 pitch now. Hyman swings, drives one into left center. That ball's in the gap. That's going to get down. That's going to be a run for the Lakers and an extra base attempt, and it will be a double for Mercyhurst. So Hyman gets the run home, gets herself on second, and gets another run for the Lakers, and is now 4-0 here in the top of the 4th. And that'll bring up the cleanup hitter, number 7, Allison DeGius. She stands in with a chance with a base hit to bring home another run home. First pitch inside for the strike. I tell you what, the inside part of the plate has been there for both pitchers, both corners actually, inside and outside. So with that run, we can close the book on Lobdell. Pitch swung on, tapped right back to the pitcher. 1-3 is the put out, but that'll put the runner over at third. So the Vulcans trade real estate for an out, and that'll bring up the number 5 hitter, Natalie Graff, the catcher, coming in for the Lakers with a runner on third. So see the runner, see everything going on the left side of the field. See if Lobdell, or excuse me, see if Leahy can get out of the inning. There's a shot to the left of the pitcher, and it's going to be on the ground. The run comes home as the ball just stayed on the ground with that top spin, and Leary could not pick it up. So count that as an infield single. The runner scores, and it's now 5-0 Mercyhurst. And now that'll bring up Sarah Costco. First pitch to her, swinging. That'll be high in the air, down left field lot. It's going to go foul, and would have had the distance if it had been straight, but a loud loud strike number 1 for the center fielder, Costco. We saw the effect of the wind right there as that ball got up in the air and just kind of hung up there. Definitely had the distance if it was about 10 feet further to the right. So runner on first. 0-1 count now. Leary's pitch. Outside, ball 1. If you're California, you don't want to give up any more runs because there is a mercy or runs rule. Not a mercy or runs rule here in softball. It's 8 runs or 10 runs, and 5 runs, we know from our basic math, is getting close to 8. So that 1-1 pitch was low. Ball 2. 2-1 count now, top of the 4th. Leary in relief of Lobdell. Here's the pitch, swung on. It's going to be foul off the screen and evens the count at 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the top of the 4th. California looking to get out of this inning and then get that potent offense of theirs to the dish. Go over to third. The throw comes to the plate, cut off, so runner will hold there, but the batter Costco will take a free base. So now with 2 outs, Mercyhurst runners at second and third. And that'll bring up the designated player, number 60, Celeste Ponce. As now Coach Bertinoli is going to call for a conference on the mound. Appears Kelsey Barron is warming up in the pen for the Vulcans. Don't know if she's warming up for the intention of getting in this game or warming up for game 2, but I think Coach Bertinoli's telling the team that fact that, hey, those 2 runs could be very important out there. And Alexa Pastor doing everything she could to get that ball, but just a little too high. As it was just rising and had enough gumption to skip off of the grass here at Lily Field and get to the fence. And almost kind of surprised that the runner at third was not waved home, as the throw in was kind of up the line. And Mercyhurst is a team that is fighting for playoff position. California pretty much comfortable in first or second right now. Don't think they're going to fall out of third or fourth, even if disaster strikes this weekend or this week with the amount of games being played. But every game is very important, especially with the other 4 letters looming. NCAA is, you know, California love to get back in the NCAA tournament. As now everybody settled down. Larry now toes the rubber. Celeste Ponce wearing a non-traditional softball number of 60. Deep crouch for the designated player. Here's the first pitch. Inside, ball 1. I think it might have caught the plate, but it was definitely a little too low. And we've seen Mercyhurst last couple batters that have got on base just waiting for that rise ball and slapping it. So here's the 1-0 pitch, swung on, foul in the air, going over, nice play, and that ends the inning. So Brooke Wilson fielding a foul ball in foul territory. Now she's yelling at her teammates to step up the offense, let's get it going. So after 4.5 or 3.5 innings, California trails 5-0. And with that, we're going to take a look at some promotional tags. Here we're going to look at our social media tag here at CUTV. You can follow our activities by a variety of ways. Either YouTube, CUTV Sports 1, that's where you're watching this game more than likely, or and Matt Kiefer putting our advertisement on the air right now. So you might be hearing myself now and hearing myself in my in my microphone. You can tell I haven't eaten in a while as I'm thinking about what to put in the microwave. As I know, Devin next to me is probably thinking of a spicy chicken from McDonald's, and Johnny and I are thinking about tacos later. But you can follow our stuff on YouTube, live games, highlights, shows such as the forechecking at CUTV, Caton's Corner, and SportsWire with me and Matt Kiefer, which I'll tease and talk a little about later. Follow our Twitter at CUTV_PA, which also will have links to live games if I have the time to do it before the games. It's always a chaos before the game, and also highlights. And also go join us at our community on Facebook, California University Television. We'll see some crew pictures from the day's activity and things of that nature. It's a good place for friends and family of our CUTV family to check in. And another part of the Vulcan family, Charity Henderson, will step in. She leads the team in home runs and had a key home run in Game 2 yesterday against the Mountain Cats that tied the ball game up. California used that to skyrocket into a 10-day lead. So we'll see if Henderson can do the same thing. First pitch there, swinging right back to the pitcher at her feet. And I tell you what, that is a great play. That's not going to show up on the highlights, but Michaela Shramsky knocked it down. It had a ton of spin. You probably did not see it on our camera, but it was spinning like a cue ball calmly picking up, and Henderson, who has some speed,
Brittany Wilson.
as we're going to see a conference over to our right. Coach Bertinoli going over to talk. So I'm not sure if there's going to be a substitution or if it's just maybe some strategy. As Shramsky's been getting a little high with her delivery, and Henderson kind of just knocked her first pitch into the ground. So we'll see if coach is saying take a pitch and then swing, or what. Don't want to go into the mind of a Hall of Fame softball coach, so just something I'm guessing as a fan here with you. So, but again, that is not a play you're probably going to see made very often. Is usually if it's misplayed in softball, it's going to be a free base because the players are so athletic and the bases are so close. And Henderson has some speed, so umpire breaks up the conference, and Coach Bertinoli is going to chug back out to his spot at third base, and that'll bring up the next batter for the Vulcans, the third baseman, number 18, Brittany Wilson, batting .333. 2 home runs, 14 runs batted in. So one out here in the bottom of the fourth. Again, getting to a little bit of gut check time as we just passed 3:35 on the East Coast. First pitch catches the outside corner for a strike. Again, that outside and inside of the corners have been there for both pitchers. So second time through the lineup, so the batters are probably accustomed to that, as we see Barron still warming up for the Vulcans. Pitch, check swing, but that's going to be a called strike too. So Shramsky using that stellar defensive play of hers to fuel her pitching. It's an 0-2 count now. Low and outside, ball 1. Waste pitch there for Shramsky, trying to tempt Wilson to go fishing. 1-2 count now. 1 out here in the bottom of the fourth. California trailing 5-0. There's a pitch swung on, connected, center field, back to the wall, and it's going to get down. That's going to be extra paces now for the Vulcans, and just like that, Brittany Wilson thought with the win we might be saying touch them all, but it falls just in front of the deepest part of the ballpark here, and that'll be a double here for the Vulcans.
Next up, designated player number 31.
And that'll bring up Shayna Posler. Posler now with the chance to drive in a run. Batting .439 coming into this game. She steps out. Shramsky was trying to wait her out there. Umpire signals to play, and here we go. First pitch, high, ball 1. So again, Shramsky working upstairs right off the gate against the Vulcans, and it seems like her strategy is go high and then the corner. So we'll see if she tries to paint one of the corners here against Posler. Here's the pitch. Inside corner, called for a strike. Posler steps back in, and I'm going to see if I can call the next pitch. It's going to be outside. Looking for the outside corner here. See if I can guess this right. If it is, I'm going to put that set down and go play the lottery. Here's the pitch. Off-speed pitch going high. Misses for ball 2. So my streak of guessing the pitches ended at 2, and that's why I'm sitting behind a fence under a tent with a headset and not playing a sport. 2-1 count now to Posler. Runner on second, so California looking to get their first run of the game. Pitch inside will be a strike, evens the count at 2. Posler kind of showing a little disgust of that call, but again, that call has been there all game. Posler, the freshman. A lot of freshmen on this team, so California looking good for years to come here. Here's the pitch, swung on and foul tip. That caused me, the mayor, and Johnny to jump a little bit, as that would have came right into our grill, but thankfully the steel wired cabled backstop is very durable. So 2-2 count, runner on second, 1 out here, bottom of the fourth. Here's the pitch, swing and a miss, and a nice off-speed pitch for Shramsky, and that's the second out, and that'll bring up the left fielder, left-handed batting Jordan Pineri for the Vulcans. And Shramsky just pulled the string. And that is a pitch we have not seen her throw too often. So Pineri stepping in. First pitch. called for a strike, and the catcher Graf quickly getting the ball back, and often don't hear that amount of pop in a glove from the catcher, but runner at second, Wilson, was starting to stray a little bit from the bag, so keeping her in check. Second pitch is low in the dirt, and they're not going to attempt to throw Graf again. She has shown that she has a pretty quick release at catcher. As you can maybe see in the background, the California men's cross-country team taking a lap around Roadman Park. So 1-1 count, 2 out here. Bottom of the fourth, Shramsky delaying here. Gets set, throws, slapped foul. Believe that might have hit the auxiliary press area. Again, that's about a 4-foot gap, so something you don't see every day. So Paneri stepping back in, trailing the count 1-2, 2 outs. High pitch. And the catcher Graf jumping a little bit to catch that. And again, that might be a key bit of real estate she saves. That goes to the backstop. That is going to be a free base for Wilson. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Run on first, California trailing by 5. Here's the pitch. Foul to play, and that's going to make the woods. Don't think it made the swamp area down there. I think it's in the dry area, so that ball could probably be reused again. Saw a ball hit over there yesterday and came out with, it was yellow when it went in, and it was dark brown when it came out. So 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss, and Shramsky closing the door on the Vulcans here in the bottom of the fourth. So we'll move to the top of the fifth after these messages. You're watching Vulcan Softball right here on CTV Sports 1 and the PSAC Network.
To help stop the spread of COVID-19, masks in a variety of colors, styles, and materials have appeared on the faces of people and statues all around us. First, how not to wear a mask. Don't wear the mask below your nose. Don't leave your chin exposed. Don't wear your mask loosely with gaps on the sides. Don't wear your mask so it covers just the tip of your nose. And especially, don't push your mask under your chin to rest on your neck. Do wear your mask so it comes all the way up, close to the bridge of your nose, and all the way down under your chin. Do your best to tighten the loops or ties so it's snug around your face, without gaps. Wearing a mask takes some getting used to, for sure, but as we do our part at Cal U to slow the spread of coronavirus, it's important to wear a mask the way it's intended to be worn. Stay safe, Vulcan Nation. Wear a mask.
And welcome back to action here as we are set to go for the top of the fifth. First pitch for Leary is low, ball 1. So again, if you're just joining us, Caitlin Leary in relief of Ellie Lobdell. Lobdell responsible for all 5 runs here as Leary's second pitch is outside, ball 2. We had a cutout of a commercial break there. In the commercial you saw as we cut out was our show at 1 o'clock on Thursdays, LAW, Legit American Wrestling. So make sure to follow them and watch that as I have a feeling that one of our close friends is involved in that very heavily. So make sure to give that a look as there's ball 3. To the leadoff hitter in the inning, number 17, Josie Moorhead. So 3-0 pitch called for a strike. So we've seen Moorhead reach base a few times today. In the last inning when Mercyhurst exploded for 4 runs, this is the part of the lineup that led them to that. So that's going to be a 5-pitch walk, and Moorhead will go to first, and that'll bring up the number 9 hitter, Chloe McQuestion. McQuestion walked her last time up, worked a 3-2 count, fouled off a few pitches, and then worked a walk off of Lobdell, who was still in the game at that point. So McQuestion, the junior, steps in. First pitch. Outside, ball one. I think it had the height, but I think it was just too far into the left-handed batter's box to get the out. Question, digging back in. 1-0 count. Pitch on the corner. Nice pitch by Leary for a strike. So Caitlin Leary painting the corner that time. There's a good shot of her with that white protective mask on. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Bunt attempt. Slapped to the netting. 1-2 now. Again, the Vulcans will be in action on Thursday against Edinburgh. And if you heard me and Johnny calling the game yesterday, we were convinced that Edinburgh was the opponent today, and we were wrong. We had the right part of the state, but the wrong school. I mean, there's 3 to choose from. Us throw back to first. Does not get the runner at first, and Maury kind of walks off. I don't know if she jammed her hand into the base. Now there's going to be a conversation on the mound. We're going to take a look at Maury there. She's looking at, I believe it's her, I can't tell if it's her right hand or her left hand, or both of them. She dove head first back into the bag. It looks like Johnny's saying it's her right hand, so sometimes you can jam it going back in, or you have the first baseman and a hand going there to the bag, so I don't know if she got nipped. But a good job of everybody recognizing the situation. She has a few seconds to walk it off. Counts now 2-2. McQuestion now trying to do what she did last at bat, work a walk or a base hit for the Lakers. She eventually came around to score as the Lakers scored 4 in the top of the 4th. Again, we'll play 7 here. We're in the 5th. So getting to the late innings now here from Lily Field in game 1. Full count now as that pitch was outside, and a good job once again of the catcher, Brooke Wilson, flagging that down and keeping the runner at first base. So full count now to McQuestion. Feel like that's a broken record to her. She's worked a few of them today. Here's the payoff pitch. Swung on, slapped right back to the pitcher. Turns, throw to second, throw to first. Not in time, but that is a great play there. Fielder's choice, or 163 fielder's choice. Even the third out, the second out was not made, but good job of Leary just to take that. I tell you what, shortstop Pastor had a chance. She was moving. It just, McQuestion had a little bit too much speed to throw her out. And that'll be the first out of the inning here. This is the first pitch, slapped and foul. Strike one as I'm trying to get caught up with my graphics and also write these down for highlights. Need Johnny running solo right now, or duo right now, I guess as it would. Our good friend Tom Caton is going to be joining us for game 2. Outside, ball 2, or excuse me, ball 1, as the first pitch was foul. So 1-1 to Eggleston, leadoff hitter for the Lakers. Here's the 1-1 pitch, swung on, tap to the first baseman, fielded, throw to first. Jaquay gets the out, and she quickly holds the runner at second. So good job of defense there by first baseman Wilson and second baseman Jaquay. So the runner will advance, runner at second, and that'll bring up Anna O'Gean. Then score that 3-4. Put out in your scorebook. First pitch, slapped, foul, out of play. For a strike pitch to O'Gean. Foul tip. Count will go to 0-2. Apologize if you're watching online. There was a little internet interruption as we're at 3:49, and I believe classes and businesses are ending here for the day. As a pop-up, third out, and that ends the inning. So Mercyhurst threatens, but California once again avoids disaster, and it's 5-0. California has a chance to cut into that here in the bottom of the 5th. And now we're going to take a look at another one of our our friends, our good friend up top running sports information, Matt Kiefer. You can follow along with Cal U Sports Info at the homepage on the World Wide Web. And it's like Matt knows, it's like he's listening up there because he's playing the CalVulcans.com promo in Lilyfield. So you can go to CalVulcans.com for game stories, stats, rosters, and historical notes. Him and his staff do a great job. You can also follow them on Twitter at CalVulcans.com and also on Instagram, Cal Vulcans. So if you remember Cal Vulcans and you have a device in your hand, you can access all of California sports information. Now it looks like Shramsky's getting set. I thought we might have a different picture there, but she's just warming up without the face mask. I was going to say she has done nothing to get pulled from this game, and she's pitched a gem. California has been held to no runs and 2 hits in this ball game. So Vulcans will have the bottom part of the order to greet Shramsky here in the bottom of the 5th. Again, we play 7 and we play 2, so 7 innings a game and 2 games a day. Game 2, Johnny Sakaguchi will have the call. And he is shaking his head that he is excited for that. Or he's dancing to the music. It's hard to tell. But I believe he's excited. Always excited. And leading off for the Vulcans will be center fielder Mackenzie Carson. Again, only 2 hits in the game for the Vulcans. They've had a few more base runners by way of walk, but first pitch swinging, slap to left field and right to the left fielder. Great play by Eagleston. So 1 pitch, 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th. That'll bring up the number 9 hitter, number 22, Alexa Pastor, for the Vulcans, quickly into the batter's box for Cal U.
Next in the box, Alexa Pastor.
Pastor coming into this game, batting a .306. She started all 20 games. She's appeared in. First pitch to her. Outside for a strike, right on that corner. Good pitch. We saw Pastor in that 4th inning almost make a leaping play, which would have held Mercyhurst for 2 less runs, but just over her head. Check swing too high, holds up for a ball. Evens the count at 1 apiece. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Swung on, popped to center field. Coming on will be the center fielder. And that'll be a nice, easy play for Sarah Costco. First time we've called her in the field. And that'll flip the lineup around for the Vulcans. Bring up leadoff hitter, Brooke Wilson. So Brooke Wilson seeing if she can get a little bit of 2-out magic here for the Vulcans, as the first 2 hitters in the inning have been retired by way of flyout. So there's another first pitch rise ball, missing for a ball 1. Wilson coming into this game, batting a scotch under 300 at .299. And again, since I'm doing multiple things, I can't look it up, as there's a shot right back to the mound, picked cleanly, and 1-2-3, quietly go the Vulcans. So after 5 full here, California trails 5-0. We'll be back after these messages. You're watching Vulcan Softball here on CTV Sports 1 and the PSAC Network.
Have you seen the new Cal U Vulcan logo around? Have you wondered where to get gear featuring it? Then go to CalVulcans.com and click Shop. Log on and browse a full selection of men's shirts, women's shirts, pullovers, hoodies, and more. All items feature customization with the new Cal U Vulcan logo and wordmark. The site also features a full selection of hats, tailgating items, and accessories. Don't be the last person to sport new Cal U Vulcan gear. Go to CalVulcans.com today.
Pride and passion drives the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. From 55 NCAA championship teams, 294 individual national champs, and counting. Who's next? Make the PSAC yours. PSAC Proud is winning in athletics and in the classroom. Over 3,100 PSAC student athletes are honored as scholar athletes. It's a perfect mix of athletics and academics. It's time to make the PSAC yours.
And welcome back to Lily Field as I conclude doing the Cupid Shuffle during the inning break. We move to the top of the sixth. Cal U trailing 5-0, and in relief, Kalen Leary looking to keep that deficit at 5. Leading off will be the number 3 hitter for the Lakers, Shine Heidman. So we're right in the heart of the order for Mercyhurst. California would love to have an inning like they just had to them, a quiet 1-2-3. First pitch swinging to the shortstop. Off her glove. That's going to be into left field, and that'll be probably an infield single because that was going to be a tough play for Pastor no matter if she got it or not. That'll bring up the cleanup hitter, Allison DeGias. So Allie, the left-handed swinging cleanup hitting first baseman for the Lakers, has had a few opportunities to break this game wide open. This is another one. Here's the first pitch to her. Little inside for ball 1. And in fact, that was ruled an error. So Heidman will reach base, but will have an at-bat with no hit. So that'll hurt her average. So second pitch, little change up on the inside corner for a strike. California has given up a lot of base runners. I mean, they're down 5-0, but it could be a lot worse. So good pitching and defense has kept the Vulcan in the game, and all they need is one big inning to get back into this. Shot right down to first. Step on it, throw to second. Will not be in time to get the runner at second, but the first out was retired, and a great job of Paige Wilson to field that and at least have an opportunity. Again, there's so much speed with the players and so little distance between the bases. It's so tough to double a player off. You almost need something hit directly at a player. So that'll bring up the next batter for the Lakers, number 18, Natalie Graff, the senior. Runner in scoring position for her. Leary's first pitch will be swung on and fouled right back at us. Hits the screen, and again, about a 40-foot screen. If your friend Peyton Trollinger on camera got hit by a ball that went straight up and straight down, almost impossible. Second pitch, low and inside. Moves Graff off the plate, evens the count at 1. Graff is well aware of what the strike zone is. She has been the backstop for the Lakers all game, so she's been there. 1-1 pitch. Off speed, misses inside. Runs the count to 2-1. So Graff stepping back in. Waits the 2-1 pitch. Leary's pitch. Swung on it, fouled right back at us, and that hit just behind my small hut here, behind home plate. So Graff stepping back in, counts even at 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, runner on second in scoring position. Here's the pitch, foul tip, and that caught Wilson off the top of the mask, so luckily it was a glancing blow, so she doesn't really even acknowledge it. She will get back. That's why they call the catcher's gears the tools of ignorance. You gotta just ignore some of those plays. Here's the pitch. Swung on, fouled right back at us. Misses me again, and trying to get that 1 in a million shot to make it a 2 in a million shot to get over and hit us. So 2-2 the count. Here's the pitch. Swung on, pulled foul over the field. And the gentleman coming into the ballpark almost caught it. Would have been an amazing play, as now the umpire is trying to get a couple of these foul balls back into play. And we reset. Counts even at 2. Graff now doing a good job of extending this at bat. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. And Leary taking something off of that pitch, and that'll be a strike on a key second out here for the Vulcans in the top of the 6th. And that will bring up
2 outs now batting.
Sarah Costco.
Center fielder, Sarah Costco.
Costco stepping in. Waiting the first pitch. First pitch swinging, going to be slapped towards the bullpen. And lands about 5 feet in front of it. And Ellie Lobdell, who's getting in some work on the bullpen, ducked a little bit. It's one thing fans always got to be aware of when you're at a baseball or softball game. Balls will enter the playing or leave the playing surface. Swung down the left field line. That'll score a run as that'll get to the wall. It'll now be 6-0. As coming around to score will be Cheyenne Hindman. And it's now 6-0. Mercyhurst is just a nice shot by Sarah Costco into left field, right down the line. And that'll bring up the next batter in the order. Actually, it's going to be a pinch hitter. It's number 22. Gina Balducci, the senior infielder, will come in. As now there's another conference on the mound for the Vulcans. Again, 6-0 is a score. 10 hits have been belted out by the Lakers. It's only 2 for the Vulcans. So a lot of times you'll see in double headers where a team has a long drive. Usually the first game takes a little bit to get those sea legs and the rust knocked off. But Mercyhurst getting off the bus on that long 3-hour drive from Erie, showing no ill effects. Is 10 hits here. 6 runs, 10 hits, no errors. California, no runs, 2 hits, 3 errors. So Larry now to the pinch hitter. That is a strike. So 2 outs as I'm able to change the graphic now. I apologize for that. Seen in this game by any of the 3 pitchers we've seen is that has just painted the corner. And that'll get California within 1 pitch of getting out of this inning and minimizing the damage. The 0-2 pitch too far outside. There's no way the pinch hitter was going to offer that, as that was outside off the get and going further outside. So Balducci, the senior, listed as an infielder. 1-2 is the count. Here's the pitch, swung on. Going to be a short flare to the second baseman, and Jaquay takes care of that. So Mercyhurst adds another run to the tally, and they'll make it 6-0. So California has 6 outs to get 6 runs, and that's going to move us to the bottom of the 6th. And we're going to take a chance to talk about a show that we're very proud to do here at CUTV every week in conjunction with County Sports Information. That is the Vulcan Sports Wire. Matt and I talk Vulcan athletics every Wednesday, and this week it's going to be a busy Wednesday, as there's going to be sets of highlights from baseball on Saturday and then softball on Monday and Tuesday. But we recap the action from the previous weekend, talk about everything that happened the previous weekend for all the Vulcan teams in action, and then we talk about players of the week, if there are any. The Vulcans of the week, which we know there's always going to be a male athlete of the week and the female athlete of the week. And then we talk about the upcoming schedule, which, as you know, in the spring will change at a moment's notice due to weather and every other issue. And then I usually ask Matt an off-the-wall question. So if you listen for nothing else, listen for whatever off-the-wall question I ask our good friend, Sports Information Director Matt Kiefer. And still on the bump, or in the circle rather, for Mercyhurst, Michaela Shransky giving up only 2 hits to the Vulcans. Now the top half of the order for California with Shalina Jaquay, Paige Wilson, and Charity Henderson. So the 2, 3, 4 hitters due up for California. So saw Jaquay in this game strike out. We have not seen her strike out very often in the season. In fact, she's only struck out coming into this game 9 times. So Jaquay at least will make contact most of the time. So here's the first pitch to her, taken right over the heart of the plate for a strike. So Jaquay would love to get California a base run of no outs, as outs are at a premium right now with only 6 offensive outs to play with, and Mercyhurst still has a chance to add on a few runs here at the top of the 7th. So here's the pitch low, ball 1. as the freshman Shransky has gone the entire way for Mercyhurst. California had Ellie Lobdell start the game, and then she was taken out in favor of reliever Caitlin Leary. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Swung on and slapped off of the retaining post. She'll fall behind 1-2. Johnny says it's a warning shot over on camera 2. Or a 1 in a million shot. I think it can count as both, as we're at 1-2 here. Here's the pitch. Rise ball rises way high, and once again Graf, the catcher, springs from behind her post and snags that. The count's even at 2-2. Jaquay digs in. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Swung on, slap down the left field line, and that'll drop for a base hit. So Jaquay, with her speed, will try and get to second base, and she does. So a leadoff double for Shalina Jaquay, and the Vulcans are in business here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. So Jaquay sticking out the bat, getting it to find some green space and getting extra bases. So leadoff double, and that'll bring up Paige Wilson, the powerful first baseman for the Vulcans. So here's the first pitch to her, right over the heart of the plate for a strike. Jaquay dancing off, you can see it in the back, top of your screen there, kind of dancing off second baseman. Not sure Mercyhurst is going to be too worried about here right now, ahead 6 runs. They're more interested in outs. They'll trade distance for outs. There's a check swing and does not go, and I'm surprised there's no appeal there from Graf, the catcher, but evens the count at 1. Wilson now stands in, awaiting the 1-1 pitch. Swing and shot to right field. Coming on as McQuestion makes a running catch. And that is the first out of the inning. Excuse me, that's Josie Moorhead. And I tell you what, that was not an easy catch with this wind. She took a step back, adjusted herself, and came in and made a catch in right field. So that'll bring up the next batter for the Vulcans, the very powerful Charity Henderson. Saw her hit a key home run yesterday against UPJ. Pitch to her. Inside, catches the corner for a strike. So Henderson falling behind 0-1. Remember, game 1 and 2. Game 2 usually will start at 4:30. It's definitely going to be a little delayed as we're at 4:08 now. Strike 2. We're at 4:08 now, and there's usually 25 minutes between games. So game 2, if you're watching, will probably start closer to 20 till 5 or quarter to 5. It's going to be a long one here at Lilly Field. Here's the pitch, swung on, slapped right at the second baseman. And that is McQuestion as she takes it, runs Jaquay back to second. That'll be the second out. And that'll bring up Brittany Wilson here.
Up next, the third baseman, number 18, Brittany Wilson.
California still looking for that first run. Has been held to 3 hits in this game. So Wilson stepping back in. Shramsky pitching a gem here for Mercyhurst. First pitch is low, ball 1. California, as we've mentioned a few times, in games 5 and 6 have 6 in a row from Sunday. Second pitch, high, ball 2. So we knew coming into this game, not sure what was going to happen with the pitching staff, as we figured we would see all 3 pitchers. We saw all 3 of them yesterday, and we've seen 2 of the 3 today, and I would probably bet that Kelsey Barron, is, based on our warm-ups, will probably be the starter in game 2. Here's the pitch, inside ball 3. You can see Shramsky not giving Wilson anything to hit. Wilson can turn on it, especially with this wind. Here's the throw pitch, see if it's a take. It is a pure take, ball 4, and Wilson will saunter down to first base, and that'll bring up Shayna Postler, the designated player, with a chance to possibly cut this lead in half with a big fly. If you're wondering, Postler on the season has 1 home run, 13 runs batted in, so she can go yard, and I believe with this wind blowing out, anything hit solid has the possibility of getting out. First pitch strike right over the heart of the plate. She falls behind 0-1. So Shramsky, who had been dealing almost exclusively in rise balls, has now been mixing it up here in the latter part of the game. So second pitch swung and hit sharply foul. Coach Burton only in the third base coaching box, showing the years of wisdom as he didn't even jump. He knew where that ball was headed before it was even made contact. So 0-2 count now to the Vulcan designated player, Shayna Postler, freshman, leading the team in batting at .439. So now the umpires are looking. The other umpire, the field umpire, was jogging into left field. Not sure what was going on. As possibly there's a player warming up in the bullpen for Mercyhurst. The ball got away, but we do not have an angle on that, as there's about 80 feet of brick between us and that area. 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss. And once again, Michaela Shramsky closing the door on the Vulcan. So after 6 full, we'll take a break. You're watching Vulcan softball here on the PSAC Network and CUTV Sports 1.
Hey Johnny, why do you look so sad?
Well, no, I'm not sure how my friends and family back in Gibbon Glade, Pennsylvania can keep track of all our CUTV programming when they can't watch.
Well, Johnny, they could subscribe to our new CUTV and Friends podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
Hey, thanks, Noel.
Our fellow Americans.
Right now, the COVID-19 vaccines are available to millions of Americans.
And soon, they will be available to everyone.
The science is clear. These vaccines will protect you and those you love from this dangerous and deadly disease.
They could save your life.
So we urge you to get vaccinated when it's available to you.
That's the first step to ending the pandemic and moving our country forward. It's up to you.
And welcome back to Lilly Field on the campus of California University as we move into the final stanza of Game 1. California trailing 6-0 to Mercyhurst. Kayla Shramsky on the mound for Mercyhurst, is pitching a gem, a 3-hitter right now. And Mercyhurst on the other side of the ledger with the offensive bats have bashed out 6 runs on 10 hits. And that'll bring up the right fielder, Josie Moorhead, who made a fine play in right field in the last half inning on a fly ball that got hung up on the wind. So here's the first pitch to her, taken on the outside for a strike. And that has been a consistent pitch for all 3 pitchers in this game. Both outside corners have been there. 0-1 pitch now. Moorhead takes it for a ball. So it looks like Caitlin Leary in relief is going to work the outside part of the plate to Moorhead. Moorhead, the junior right fielder for Mercyhurst. Here's the pitch. Swung on and tapped foul into the on-deck circle. So Leary going ahead 1-2 in the count. As we see on the low shot there, Wilson stepping back in, so you can see just what the batter is dealing with right there. So not a lot of distance between the batter and the pitcher in softball. So you got to give credit to the reaction time. Swung on, hit high towards center field. It's actually going to drop in the wind to Selena Jaquay at second base for out number 1. Jaquay has had a busy afternoon at the Keystone Sack, as it is called. A couple line drive ground balls she's fielded, and a couple pop-ups. And that'll bring up Chloe McQuestion, who has been a at-bat extending player for the Lakers, as she's run at least the last 2 times she's been at bat. The count has gone to full, so first pitch to her, taken on the outside for a ball. So McQuestion has really been a catalyst for the Lakers at the bottom of the lineup, getting on and has scored a few runs today. Here's the second pitch, not swung on, but taken outside. No swing, 2-0 is the count. Well, another thing to consider is the temperature today is pretty much the first hot day we've encountered here, and see if that affects any of the players. Third pitch outside, ball 3. So McQuestion doing a good job today of seeing a lot of pitches. Almost serving as a second leadoff hitter at the bottom of the lineup here for the Lakers. So the 3-0 count over the corner, but low, ball 4. So McQuestion doing her best to go green, and by that, she's not driving anything. She's walking up to first base, and she'll happily do that as I'll bring up the leadoff hitter, Brianna Eggleston, who's had a key hit in this game, driving in a few runs. So a runner on first, 1 out here in the top of the 7th. California trailing by 6. First pitch, ball 1. So 5 straight out of the zone for Leary and the Vulcans. Eggleston now stepping back in. Here's the pitch. Catches the outside corner for a strike. Evens the count at 1 apiece, top of the 7th. California will come to bat here in the bottom of the 7th with a chance to go ahead and win in a walk-off. But first they got to get to that point, as that's the second pitch outside. Ball 2, 2-1. Two-one pitch now. Outside, ball 3. So hitters count. So we've seen a little bit of wildness out of Caitlin Leary in relief. And really the only options, I think, if you're California, would be probably bringing Lobdell in and save Barron to start game 2, but no one's in the pen right now for the Vulcans, so there's the full count. Excuse me, that runs the count to full 3-2 as that was fouled out of play. Another good cut by Eggleston. Eggleston wearing a protective pad on her right shoulder and a big wristband on her left. So the payoff pitch. Ball hits straight up ahead. It's going to be a tough play. It's going to hit right behind us and be a foul ball. So 3-2 is the count. Is I thought Wilson might have had a chance at it. So the fan star writer saying keep the ball on that side of the fence. And we will concur as we're like 10 feet away from them. So let's keep everybody safe over here. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Swung on a hit into the right center field gap. That's going to be trouble. That's going to get to the wall. We're going to see if McQuestion's going to get to the plate. They're going to wave her. No, they're not going to. They're going to hold her up. So a double for the leadoff hitter. Now Mercyhurst is looking to tag on. As I'm going to grab the ball. As I'm back, as I was helping fetch that foul ball as it went behind me. And with the wind today, my media tent is a lot lower to try and keep it out of the wind, so there was no way the player for California getting the ball could have seen that, so trying to help him out. Now we have a pinch hitter, number 15, Jessica Clark, freshman for the Lakers. Pitch outside, ball 1. So Brianna Eggleston and Chloe McQuestion at the 9 and 1 spot of the order have really done a number on the Vulcans today. McQuestion stands at 3rd, Eggleston at 1st. Pitch outside, ball 2. So might be seeing the effects of 6 games in 3 days hitting Leary, as she's been a little wild the last 2 innings. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Low. A good job of Wilson to keep that in front of her. See Coach Burton only scoot a little bit forward on his chair in the dugout. Don't know if he'll come out for a strategy session if there's a walk or not. So here's the 3-0 count. And that's a strike right at the letters. That's a good pitch, because I'm not sure if if Jessica Clark, the pinch hitter, could have done anything, as that was right at the letters. 3-1 hitters count now. Here's the pitch. Swung on down the right field line. Going after is Henderson. Henderson cannot make the catch. Again, that's off our screen, and apologies is due to the new press box being very small. We cannot have a manned camera up there. Hopefully, as COVID restrictions are eased next season, we can get a person operating that. So, like I said, when they go off the screen, we're going to try and do our best to talk about what happened. So here's the 3-2 pitch now. Payoff pitch hit to center field. Right at the center fielder coming on. We'll see if the run is going to be at the plate, and no. McQueen backs off as a nice strong throw by the California center fielder. Mackenzie Carson keeps McQueen at third. So let's put a star next to that in case California can bring the bats here in the bottom of the 7th, because a 6-run deficit is a lot more doable than a 7-run deficit. And that'll bring up number 21, Cheyenne Hindman, the junior. First pitch to her, swinging, pops straight up. Left fielder coming in for the Vulcans and makes the catch. So California once again getting off of the high wire and trailing by 6. But as we've seen, teams like California can score 6 runs in an inning. So the key is getting that first runner on and seeing what happens. So we're going to keep it here as we move to the bottom of the 7th. Once again, if you're watching this on YouTube or the PSAC Network, Game 2, originally scheduled to start in 9 minutes, of course, will be delayed as this game has run long with a lot of offense. So that'll probably push the Game 2 starting somewhere 10 till 5 or 5 o'clock here in the East Coast. So Johnny Sakaguchi will have the call as I see my good friend Tom Caton sauntering by my media hut. And I'll describe my little hut here as it's lower. It kind of looks like a Turkish bazaar where I should have like couches and pillows, like a basket of fruit to haggle with. As Tom's looking for a way to get in to say hi to me, and he's going to choose to go around. Oh, there's a shot. Johnny has a shot of my bazaar, so you can kind of see me waving. Luckily, I'm not very tall. Coach Sancom will not recruit me for the basketball team due to my advanced age, lack of skill at basketball, and diminutive height. But you can kind of see I have to kind of keep it held down here every once in a while. So thank you to Johnny for that. Funny thing is I saw a smile before I saw the camera because that's how low the tent is. But thanks to our good friend Ron and Tony to always provide the tent for me, and they have it lashed down, so don't think it's going to go anywhere, but if I feel it move, I'm going to do my best, and it makes me feel like I'm getting a workout today. So as we move to the bottom of the 7th, California, looks like it's Jordan Pinery's. Yes, the number is wrong on the scoreboard, so left fielder Jordan Pinery. We're back on it now. His first pitch was taken for a strike. Second pitch, low, ball 1. Evens the count at 1. So Pinery trying to do what she can to get on in the leadoff spot. California trailing by 6. They need 6 to extend as we got the rally caps in the dugout. Here's this pitch slapped into the third base foul territory, and it'll get down. So we're going to take a look in the dugout for the Vulcans at the rally caps. You can see them there trying to implore Jordan Pinery to get on base. Always good to see the rally caps. Johnny's going to have to pull out a little bit as he's focusing on the netting. We're at that part of the day where the sun is starting to go down and it's affecting the focus on the cameras. So we'll get back into the action here. Pitch, swung on and fouled out of play. And that'll hit the portage on outside. I'm waiting to see if anybody runs out, but it looks like both labels are green, so all good over there. So Pinery doing a good job of fighting off the last couple pitches, staying alive. So this is a gritty Cal-U ball club. Don't think that any lead is going to be out of the question as Pinery once again fouls off another pitch, so count remains 1-2. Pinery takes a deep breath. waiting. Shramsky's pitch. Nice pitch right there, but just outside. I thought that was going to freeze Paneri. I think Shramsky thought so too. She kind of turned around and little side of the shoulders. That was a good pitch. That's a tough one to lay off. So 2-2 is the count. Here's the pitch. Swung on, slap foul once again. And that's going to get into the Mercyhurst bullpen. So Paneri just battling and battling and battling. Paneri digging back in. Shramsky's wind-up pitch. Swung on, and again, foul. So if you're playing the show right now, it's definitely the circle button, which is the contact button, as Paneri is just fighting things off to stay alive. And it only takes one to get California in business here in the bottom of the 7th inning. So Paneri once again. Here's the pitch. Right on the corner, but misses low. Count goes to full, so Jordan Paneri doing her best Chloe McQuestion impersonation in this game, running a count to full. California will take a base runner any way they can take it. So walk, hit, whatever it takes. Here's the payoff pitch. Strike 3. Just catches the inside corner. And that's the first out. So Michaela Shramsky had the count go to full, but she fights it off as a pitcher. And that'll be the first out. So California down their last 2 outs of the game. And that'll bring up center fielder Mackenzie Carson. Made a fine throw to stop an advance. Attempted a tag up in the top half of the inning. First pitch called, strike 1. So California running out of strikes and outs here in game 1. Here's the second pitch. High inside, ball 1. So stepping back in is Carson. You can see she has a wide stance there. Can get down first baseline very quickly. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Ball just misses outside for a ball. Shramsky took a little bit of velocity off that, had a little bit of movement, tailing to the outside. 2-1 count now. Here's the pitch. Swung on, slapped to second base. Diving play by Chloe McQuestion. And that's going to make the highlight reel for sure, as that was destined to get into the gap. So California now down to their final out. And that'll bring up the number 9 hitter for the Vulcans, Alexa Pastor. I'll put a star next to that in my little ledger here for when I cut highlights in a few hours. Pastor now. First pitch just a bit high. Again, check back in at CUTV Sports 1 or the PSAC network about 25 minutes after the conclusion of this game for game 2. This first game having a slow pace to it. We'll see how game 2 goes. Second pitch, low ball 2. Excuse me, the count is even at 1 as that first pitch was a strike. So I missed the umpire signal as I was writing that line out to the second baseman now. So the 1-1 pitch, strike 2 as it catches the inside part of the plate. So California now down to their last pitch here in game 1. Michaela Shramsky has pitched a gem for the Lakers. Here's the pitch. Ball, and actually the count is 3-1 as the scoreboard is off a little bit. I'm waiting to see if the umpire changes the count. Is it now 3-1? So pardon for that, is the pop up behind the plate going over, and that'll end the game as the catcher for Mercer's, Natalie Graff, gets the foul ball, and that ends the game. So game 1 will be a Laker victory. So Mercer scores 1 in the first, 4 in the 4th, 1 in the 6th. Is that adds up to 6. California, no runs, 3 hits on 3 errors. So stay with us here at CUTV Sports 1 and the PSAC network. Check back in about 25 minutes as game 2 will start. So for Johnny Sakaguchi, I'm Gary Smith. We'll see you in a couple minutes for Game 2 of this doubleheader. You're watching Vulcan Softball on the PSAC Network, and you're also watching it on CUTV Sports 1.